This is how I made 108 copies of my poetry chapbook Eurydice by hand as an independent writer. In the months of June and July, I spent several weeks physically making my chapbook, which means printing, folding, puncturing holes along the spine, binding, and cutting. First, I learned that I'm not the best at measuring and cutting, and I had to reprint several times, which led to many emotional breakdowns from the sheer exhaustion that went into physically making this, especially when working through heat waves in a warehouse. Here's the approximate time I spent doing each task for 108 copies. I spent nearly 10 hours printing the interior, center folds, and covers. 12 hours were spent folding each individual page in every single book by hand using both a perfect folder and a bone folder. 4 hours for puncturing holes along the spine of the books with an awl. Nearly 10 hours were spent hand binding each book with a simple stitch using thread we had to wax ourselves. And finally, 10 hours were spent cutting the centerfolds, covers, and the perimeter of the finished book using an industrial paper guillotine. And while this was a demanding process, it wouldn't have been possible to achieve without the help of my friends and the volunteers at the IPRC. Greatest gratitude to the Independent Publishing Resource Center for providing the space and the resources to make this possible. I'm honestly so proud for how this turned out because she's so beautiful. You can learn about Eurydice on my website or check her out at the IPRC's library.